Have been for 2.5 days so far. It's called Kloof. It is a wildlife reserve and it is incredible. Usually in the morning when we wake up, we see animals. They just roam wild in this area. There's 8,000 acres. And this is the boundary line to our community here that we have for sleeping and whatnot. There are lion and tigers in those enclosements over there. They keep the predators in those cages while all the other animals get to roam wild. This morning we woke up to the lions roaring, so that was incredible.
That's my God. That's true. That's
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Cherry. On our first full day here, we did a rock project where we went and we picked up all these rocks, make it look very nice, because that's how the owners wanted it. And then we had a second rock project. Olivia, would you like to elaborate on that second rock project that we did?
Yes, so today we did a second rock project that took us up the tall mountain that's behind us, and we had to organize the rocks on the side of the road and in the middle of the road, because there's two paths for the tires to go up, and if the rocks are in the way, they'll scrape the cars. So it was all about safety. Then we played the stick game and I broke my ass one. Cheris made fun of me.
I told her to stand up, but she can't.
Girls, why do we do this?
Well, Ma and Pa are really close with the people who work here, and Ma and Pa are
on the ground missions team.
Yes, thank you. And they're just really close with the people here. And every time they have teams, they just need a little bit of help. We only got 10 workers here. So we just come in and help them out with whatever they want need done.
Girls, what animals have we seen so far?
So many. There's an ostrich that walks around outside.
And he wants to mate with us. And we've seen the cheetahs.
I saw wildebeest the other day.
Yes, we did. Did we mention giraffes?
No, giraffes.
Giraffes and zebras.
And
Blessed bucks?
elands, blessed bucks,
And
impalas,
and impalas.
and springbucks.
Yeah. Which are basically all deer.
Mongoose and rhinos?
And rhinos, and we saw baboons today.
We did see baboons. Bab. It rains a lot and it's thunderstorming every night.
Terrible.
Some of us
time.
are able to handle it.
And we shower once every 4 days.
Which is great because, I mean, we all smell bad anyway, so it's
Baby
fine.
wipes are amazing.
They are. They're great. Baby wipes and powder.
And rain. The
And
rain
rain.
has been a blessing. And the dung beetles.
We're not talking about the dung beetles.
into the mud, so I have muddy clothes again. We
We
also do our laundry every 4 days.
Yes, this
By
is
hand.
also true, by hand. Which is good character development, honestly.
And
That's Olivia and Sharon. Bye now.
Okay, hello. There are an abundance of bugs here. They range in size. This is a dead dung beetle, but they can get like that big. And then there's spiders everywhere, which are not cool, but kind of cool because they eat the mosquitoes, which there's also an abundance of. And the ants are always angry and always everywhere. But there's some pretty moths and other things. And there's scorpions, and they're rainbow colored, and there's rainbow colored centipedes because they want to kill you. We're getting the light. We're getting the light. Okay. So this is a beetle I found from the African ground. He has pincers and he's large.
Why does it look like that?
All right, girls, we're getting ready to go camping because we're getting kicked out of our camp. How do you feel about it?
So excited.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Living out in the wild.
I can't wait. It'll be an adventure.
All right, girls, how do you feel about us getting kicked out and going camping?
I don't know.
Shareth, what does that mean? Awkward.
I guess we'll find out after the end of it what God's trying to teach us. That's what I'm going in.
What do you guys think about us getting kicked out and having to tent camp?
Wouldn't be my second time getting an eviction notice.
Yo!
I'm dead.
I'm just kidding, not really. But,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I like sleeping in tents.
Yeah. Camping is really fun. So it'll be a good time.
I'm very hyped for it.
Yeah.
The reason why we're getting kicked out of this lovely place we're staying is because
Paying customer.
yeah, a paying customer. When they get to stay here, then we'll move out so that they can stay and get paid for it.
Honey, give me a minute.
Take 3.
I'm Cherith.
Water bottle me. And I'm Olivia. Oh, that's a bee. Juniper! You're okay, she's fine. Okay.
And we're back at it again.
With the white vans.
Yep.
After being gone for 3 weeks, it's work, Lula.
Yes.
We had an interview about 3 days in.
And
So much has changed since then.
yes.
We've gotten a lot tanner and a lot more tired.
Yes, agreed. We also went camping in tents.
We're gonna get all to that, but first we need to introduce our 3 new guests. Can we go in order from lightest to darkest, shirt-wise?
Ella.
Amanda. David. Thanks. How are we feeling today? What are the emotions we're feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been nice to have this day to just rest and chill left the house. We're doing pretty solid, I think.
Number one, I have, what task did the grass team have? Who wants to take this? What task did the grass team?
So, I'll talk about it. Basically, we were told one day we climbed into the van and we put all these tools in the back of the van or the bus. And we were
Can
like,
you describe the
"Where are we going?"
tools?
The tools, yes, the tools, the iconic tools. Some really dull machetes and axes, and some saws, and a shovel, some grass whackers, which were just sticks, and some rakes. I think that was it. And the hoe, the trusty hoe. Basically, we climbed into this van. And we were like, "Where are we going?" And Dan was like, "You'll see." And so we drive, and we drive, and we drive through the bush, and we end up on the side of the road next to a fence, and there's this long dirt road. And we're like, "What are we doing here?" And Dan says, "Chop the grass." So we say, "Okay." We chop the grass. And it's not like it's tall grass, it's short grass. It's just regular grass that we have to clear off of this path.
What was the purpose of doing this? That's to Bevan. Hello, Bevan.
So, hello. We were cutting this grass because there was going to be a race later on in the week, a mountain bike race. And this race was actually to raise money for Kairos, which was the program that we were helping out in the beginning of our trip with the one where we painted and we packed food and the school as well. So they needed the grass to be cut and like the road to look nice because there was going to be a bunch of people coming and it just needed to look good. So
What did God reveal to you during this? This is either Cherith or Ella. Don't fight over it, not everyone at once.
So, I can go. I feel like one of the things for me that God revealed during this time was really just to humble myself. Even when there was times when it was hard to see the value or the point of what we were doing, to really just refocus myself on why we were there, and that even when it doesn't always feel like it, anything we're doing can be done to glorify God if we're willing to let it.
Thank you, Ella. Last question. What was the biggest trial during this, Cherith?
Well, first of all,
The counting.
we're cutting grass with machetes. So I feel like that's pretty
And shovels.
self-explanatory on what the trials were. The fact that we were cutting grass with machetes. Second of all, our last day, we didn't know it was our last day, but it was our last day of going out there and cutting the grass. In the distance, you see a green tractor.
I thought it was blue.
A blue tractor. A blue tractor just comes through our path. I step out of the way, and he just continues down on the path, clearing everything.
And that's when you threw your water bottle
And
down
that
and broke it.
No, it was already broken.
This is Tawny's favorite water bottle on the trip.
Anyway, I see this tractor, and I cannot repeat what I said. And I just had to take a moment. But it was okay because we were finished for the day, and I honestly can't remember what we did after that because I just couldn't. I don't remember. There was too much trauma.
Yeah.
But even though we saw that tractor, it was fine because I grew close to my teammates, and that's what matters. So we had another team, a team that went up and spent time with the guests and staff. The hospitality team had tasks that included what? My hospitality team.
That's also
All three
me.
of us.
I think that's all four of us.
Yep. So on the hospitality team, we chopped numerous vegetables all day, every day, for very long periods of time.
How many pounds of carrots?
55 in 3 hours.
And
Graded them
75,
boys by
75.
hand. Not my favorite experience. And we made like 5,000 beds, more tomatoes and onions than I knew like existed just on the planet, let alone people could actually eat. I don't know what else we did.
We had to do different kinds of beds.
We did make a lot of beds.
You had to put on the fitted sheet, and then depending on if it was in the pillowcase, and then depending on if it was a full bed, you had to take the duvet inner and put that in the duvet and shake it out.
Which is
Duvets?
very hard to do when you are
Duvets
not
suck.
tall.
Put that on the record. Duvets suck.
You're stealing Ella's spotlight.
Oh, sorry.
And that's
What was it like serving along the staff? What was their job usually like, and how hard did they usually work?
So, like, the staff there, the maids and the cooks and everything, they like work every day, long hours without breaks and like without like days off and stuff. And so it was really cool to be able to come in and just help them. Like, I remember, Tani, you were with me. We were at Netanya, and actually Tani explained to the lady, her name is Linky, she explained to her that we were there to help her, not to take her job. We're here to help her and like give her a break. And her face just lit up. She was so happy to show us how to do it and everything. And it was just really cool to be able to help them in that way and serve them and give them a nice like break from all the like everything they have to go through every day. So.
I don't have any.
Tani is the sorry. Tani is the mom of our group. She just really, I love her very much. Okay, she kind of keeps our heads on straight a little bit. So I just thought I should put that in there.
So mad.
Me?
Hey Tawny, we're just coming to you to interview you for a hot sec because you've put this whole video together.
Yeah.
What are some really cool things you've gotten to learn just during our whole time in South Africa? I guess since you last updated, because you said that you updated like before like you started interviewing everyone, you would update on your own. So the last time you talked till now, has there been something cool you've learned?
The last time I updated was about the Disability Center, and honestly, I think I've learned most during this whole experience that you can find joy in every task that you're doing. Like, even whenever you are shredding 55 to 75 pounds of carrots with a dull grater, like, you can find joy through relationships during that time, and that everything you do can glorify God. And it all comes back to your attitude. Like, these people make like $2 an hour in our terms of money, and they don't get to see their families, and they live away from them, and they just transfer money home to their kids that have lived with their parents, and they don't have that relationship, but they're still so joyful and have a great attitude every day that they go to work. And in America, we have great jobs and homes, and we get to go home to our families, but yet we sit on our phones or we watch TV and we don't build those relationships. And that's the things that these people are craving, and they don't get the option to do that because they're just trying to survive. And so taking that home to America, that relationships are the priority of what God has called us to do.
It's been another successful interview process, I would say. We've updated even more, and we continue to grow. So this is Olivia and Cherith signing off.
Bye. I'm Adelie. And I'm Hannah. And we're just talking about our Zwartkloof experience, I guess. A lot of the time we were spending a lot of our hours in the kitchens, cutting a lot.
Doing a lot of prep work for the camps that Zwartkloof got to host.
Yeah, making a lot of the food.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were there at Zwartkloof for about a month. So we calculated some numbers about the total amount of stuff that we've cut and peeled and
Yeah. So most of our days at Schwarzkopf, we worked in the kitchen and we prepared for 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we woke up at around 4:30 to 5, I would say, and we would prepare the food and serve it. And we didn't get done till probably around 9, 10 at night. So
Long days.
yeah, really long days, but I feel like these numbers kind of put into perspective what we were doing.
And how much time we spent.
Yeah. So the first thing we have is bread slices.
And we buttered the bread slices.
Yeah, and this was specifically for breakfast in the mornings.
So we have calculated a total of 10,764 slices that we buttered.
And then the next we have rolls, and we did these for lunch and dinner, for like the chicken sandwiches or for the lasagna. And we have 24,600 rolls that we sliced and then buttered.
And then we have eggs. So a lot of the time we cracked the eggs at the evening to prepare for the
next day.
So they could scramble them in the morning. So we have a total of 23,400 eggs,
which is enough for each kid to have at least 2 eggs per breakfast. And then next we have the lettuce, which we cut for sandwiches, but also we cut for the lettuce and the salad. And so we have about 473 heads of lettuce that we cut.
Yeah. And then next we have tomatoes. So tomatoes we used, sometimes they had tomato slices for breakfast, sometimes they had it diced for salads, they also had it cut in slices for the sandwiches or burgers that they served. So we have a total of 14,700 slices that we cut, and then also it was an average of 2,940 tomatoes total.
And then on top of that, we also had onions for the sandwiches and also the salad. And we calculated the amount of pounds, which was around 337.5 pounds, which is around 1,125 onions.
And then we did carrots. That was an ordeal. We peeled and grated them.
Like on a cheese grater.
Like small grates.
Yeah.
Took a very, very long time. But we have a total of 740 carrots total. We also did the pounds for that, which was 127 pounds of carrots.
Insane. That was hard.
That was
really hard and tiring. Okay.
Yeah.
Next we have the beloved butternut squash. Everybody loved this job so much.
Loved it.
It was really fun to peel.
Broke some knives while doing it.
In half. And we also had a really nice waxy stain on our hands after we did it, which was really fun.
Yeah.
We did about 300 butternut squash.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Next we have potatoes, which was used for like wedge fries. A lot of the times with the burgers. Also, sometimes we dice them for like to put in with mincemeat. So we have a total of 1,230 pounds and also 2,870 potatoes. A lot.
Okay, and then in the mornings we did fruit salad. So we calculated the amount of watermelon and grapes that we put into each one. For watermelon, we did about 38, and these weren't like little. These were like big
watermelons.
Yeah. And then for grapes, we did about 108 boxes.
And there was a good amount.
Yeah, there were about 2 things of grapes to take off and cut in each box.
Yeah, and we cut the grapes normally in half always.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our numbers. We worked really really hard in the kitchen.
Really hard.
Fun time.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was.
What did God show you during this time?
Ooh.
I'd say one thing was patience. Sometimes there was hard communication between like what we were supposed to do or
how many we had to cut.
Or we did it wrong and we had to redo it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think patience was
and then counting it all joy while doing it. Because sometimes it was a little bit of a struggle where we would cut 1,000 tomato slices and they would come in and say, oh no, you need to cut more. And so then we would have to do it again, stop what we're doing, and
yeah.
But you know, it's fine. We did it. It's fine.
Yeah.
it was a really good experience. I learned a lot. And I'm really grateful for the time that we got to spend there, learning from the staff there.
Yeah.
And just growing in like relationships with them.
Hij gaat niet uitklimmen. Hij wil. Hij denkt, nee, hij kan. Hij kan. Dit gewoonlik, hij is 'n bietjie skrikkerig om vorentoe te sien. Hy is miskien agteruit. Nee, Maximus die kant. Kom Max. Maximus. Kijk gewoon op je schouder staan. Stijf, ja.
Funniest home videos, here we come.
South African falls out of a shoe trying to do it. Kom Maxie, kom. Kom.
No, easy.
Oké, draai kom net uit. Miskien vasgryp maar.
Are those words of affirmation?
No.
That sounds like chocolate.
So we're leaving South Africa later this week and going to Lesotho, where we'll be working with Growing Nations, which is an organization that helps teach locals more sustainable agricultural practices while incorporating the gospel into that and teaching a kingdom mindset. So while we'll be there, we'll be helping at the organization itself and then also spending time with host families in the community.
This is take 5 for the Cherith Olivia show. That's a disaster.
It's funny. What are you talking about?
I love when you guys just go off on your own. That's the best part.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you spell disaster?
I don't know.
O-L-I-V-I-A-A-N-D-C-H-E
R-I-T-H.
Turns out I've never had to spell your name out loud before.